So matting wise, I'm just going to start with the Waterfall here. And we'll just start from the back side. All right, so for the mat, this is going to go down behind the pocket. So that's why it's not a full sheet. We don't need a full sheet for that. So I just cut it down to 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. It's a little over 2 3/4. I think it was just a scrap piece that I had left over, so I just used it because it just fit right. And I did do that circle bit out here again. I did it the same way that I did the other one, which I might have showed. I don't remember if I did or not. Okay, so let's just stick that in there. Okie doke. So I got glue on there, and I am just gonna tuck that in without trying to get glue all over everything, and line that up, leaving it. Now, I wished on this one, I don't know if you can tell that or not, I wish I kind of would have angled those in a bit, but I didn't, and that's okay. It'll be okay. I just now noticed it. All right, so there. When I cut that, I did the same, you know, to make sure that you wouldn't be able to see, that you'd see black all the way through there. All right. And then this one is going to go here. Okay. So I kept out, there it is. So I kept this little piece here, okay? Because I wanted to make sure that I get the circle in the right place, okay? And so I'm just gonna stick it here like that. Okay, so now if you stick it up here, and you cut it out, then it's gonna leave, it's not gonna leave you 1/8 of an inch right through there, okay? And I want that. I want it to look like it was made to mat that. So I'm gonna pull it down. So I have my paper here where it's gonna line up. And I'm gonna pull it down like that. And guys, there probably is an easier way to do this, but I think this is gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace around, okay, trace around that, and then get my punch back out, okay, using that same 2.5 inch punch. And I'm gonna line it up with that line that I've traced. Okay, as best I can anyways. Okay, and we'll see if that works. Okay. And a little, it kind of leaves it a little bit too close here, and I don't really like that. So you can leave it like that. Or what if I went in here? And I did it like this. I'm gonna, if you're brave enough, if not, don't do it. Okay, I think that's good. Voila! I mean, I guess, you know, it's not the most perfect. And then remember where I wrote there and I told you you were going to be able to see that? Yeah. There it is. But that's okay. I'll fix that as well. So we have that now. You know, if you had a die or something like that, it might would have been easier. And I probably could have done that. But that's okay. It's going to be all right. And we'll just attach this one down. I'm actually just going to use my tape gun because my glue just takes forever to come out. I don't get it Well, I do. I need a new one. It's getting, after a while, and especially if I leave it open and then it, you know, it just makes it stiff and all that stuff. So, but for quickness, we'll just go, maybe we'll go like this. Okay. Oh, let me ink up that really quick. I'm just using what's left on my tool there just to get rid of that white edge, you know. Okay, and then we'll place this down, you know, leaving an 1/8 of an inch around. And I have something I will put on there to kind of decorate or cover that up, something. We'll fix it. All right, and then I'm gonna go through, and I haven't figured out in what order I want these in. I will be doing the black on the back side though. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attach these, and they basically just go, you know, like that, okay? So I'm gonna run through and do that really quick, and then I will be back. Okay, so I have already matted these here, but I wanted to, because I forgot to tell you when I first started putting these down, when I got to this last one here. The mats for these are gonna be 5 1/4, and maybe you can see that, 5 1/4 by 4, and you're gonna need 10 of these, okay? I did 5 of my pattern paper and then 5 of the black cardstock. And of course the back I'm putting on the back, and then the patterns I will put on the front, okay? Like that. Okay, and then I just gotta figure out, or you could alternate. You could do it however. This is just how I am choosing to do mine. I actually kind of wish I would have alternated, but that's okay. Let's see, all right, so there's that. And then for the inside little bits here, I actually made, and I might have one too many, but I don't know, let's see. I just cut some little strips down. So this is a 1/2 inch. So I just cut them down, you know, about 3/8 of an inch. And we're gonna attach those like that. And of course they'll be the same width as that mat there. So if I can get my tape gun to act correct. All right, so I got all of those little bits matted in there, and I did have an extra one, but I'm gonna hang on to that. We might use it for something else. I'm gonna go with this. Now, I'm not gonna cut this off yet. First, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna kind of eyeball, and I'm gonna kind of mark a little mark here, because I figured that where that's marked at is where the end of this bit's gonna be, okay? And then I'm gonna take my tab punch, and I'm gonna stick it in there and center it up about as best as I can. And I'm just gonna snip that, okay? And then what that's gonna do is it's gonna allow me to push that right up against that bit there. And then I'm just gonna mark it here where I want to trim that bit off. Let me get my pieces of paper everywhere. Okay. And then I'm just gonna stick it in here, and I'm just gonna trim it down. Okay. And then then this bit, let's see. Let me put it in here. I'm going to mark it where I need to cut it down to. Okay. And I just outlined pretty much the whole thing. That way I can line it up right. I'm just going to cut that bit off. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to line that up in there and I'm going to snip that the same way. Or at least as best I can. I don't know how well you can see that. And it might not be perfect. You know, there we go. And then we have two little pieces there. Okay, so that was really easy peasy, right? And then let me get make sure that's dry though, because in my last one I had some that smudged. They smudged. Okay. And I know it doesn't leave a border on there, on that part, but I kind of do like it on there. So what I'll do, take my scissors and I'm just going to cut straight across like that. And I'm going to go through and do my gel pen thing on these two. And I'm going to glue these bits on because I feel like that will just help them stay better. Let me... All right, so there's the Waterfall pocket Waterfall. And yeah, and pocket piece done other than decorating. I don't know if I showed this in the other, but I did decide to fold this different because we had it, let's see, I had it going like this. And I just didn't really like how that felt. So I feel like it needs to go this way. It just feels like it naturally goes that way. So I kind of like it like that. So that's how I'm going to end up going. Let's see. And then, okay, so here's what I've got for this. Okay, and I don't remember exactly how I had them laid out. Let's go. But I think I wanted this here, this here. All right, and then for this bit, let me see if I can't get it pulled over in here. I got, well, make a mess. Throw my blending tool in the trash. Okay, so I've got these mats measure. Okay, for this part is going to be 5.5 by 6.5, and you're going to need 2 of those. So one for this side, and then of course one for the other side. And then for this mat here, you're gonna need 1, 2, 3. And they are gonna measure, no ma'am, 4 3/4 by 6.5. Okay, and I said at 4, but really you only need 3 because what goes on the top of this is actually going to measure, you know, different. So really just 3 measured. at 4 3/4 by 6 1/2. Okay. And then for one of those, I used a black one. And of course, you know, you pick your pattern or pick it how you want it to go. I'm going to lay mine out like this. And I also have some little bits here. This is going to go, well, one of them is going to go. Did I cut it to, hold on, I did. I cut this too long, so let me, or do I want to just leave it like that? Because I did, I cut them all the same. I'm just gonna leave it like that. It's gonna go edge to edge, but I'm okay. I don't want to cut it off because if I do, it's gonna make the lines like run off, and that's just gonna look weird. So I don't like that. So I'm just gonna leave it like it is. Those would be measured. This one's, so that's a 1/2 inch. So I probably went, let's see, about 3/8 of an inch, the same as on the little smaller ones that we did. And then 6 3/4. Yep. So 6 3/4. But if you wanted it to be the same size mats as these, you would do 6 1/2. But since mine's not, I'm just gonna go with it. I mean, I might have could have made it work, but I just, oh. And mine seemed to be kind of running on the narrow, but it's okay. All right, and then we'll attach these down. Okay. And let's go and see. Oh goodness, I keep knocking my blending tool in the trash. All right, I think I'm gonna go with this pattern here. Okay, so we've got this matted here and this one here, okay? And now we're gonna mat our pocket. Now for the little bit here, it is, if I can get my ruler, 1 1/2 by 6 1/2. And then the mat that's gonna go here is, I believe, 4 1/4. Yes, by 6 1/2, okay? And we're gonna have to do our little treatment of the circle here. So I did keep my little extra piece. Let me fold this out again so that it's not as bulky there. All right, so there's those batted. And then on over to this side. Also, before I do that, let me make this kind of flat. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attach this one here. And it's gonna be the same as this one right here, okay? And I'm not gonna trim it down because, you know, I still cut it too long, but I've already did all the the other, so I'm just gonna leave it like it is. Okay. And it's not the most perfect ever. But yeah. Okay. Alrighty. For the mats on these, this one is gonna go here. Same thing, this is the same as the other, this one here, which was, I'll just tell you again, just in case, 5.5 by 6.5, okay? And then for these, for the 4 that you're gonna need for these 2 flaps, 4.25 by 5. Okay. And let me just get my tape gun back out, and we'll attach this one down. I know I've been using a lot of papers that are either printables or older paper pads that, you know, may not be available anymore, but I'm trying to use up things that I have in my stash really before I go and buy you know, more things. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to have new paper, and I would love to have every new paper line that comes out, but I just can't do that. And so, and with the way the economy is right now, it's just, you know, and I have plenty. Even these paper pads, I know I use the same ones over and over, but the ones from Hobby Lobby, they have so many in there that you can do multiple things with. You can do so many things with. So that's why I'm using it. That, or either I do digitals, because then I can just print the ones that I really like, and I don't have to worry about having papers that I'm not that crazy about, you know, and that happens. So, but if you have newer ones or whatever kinds of paper pads you have, it doesn't even have to be Christmas, that you could do any kind of paper for like a little folio or any kind of album really, because it's, you know, and it could be look completely different. I just used Christmas because it's just one of my favorite times to decorate for, and you know, because for me Christmas is the biggest holiday I feel like that we have, so it's the one that I really like. All right, so I have decided, I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and I'm gonna cut a couple of more of the black like this, and do the black on both sides, because I feel like with this it's just too, I mean, it does look good together, but to me it's just too much, you know, it's just too busy. And so I'm gonna save these right here for, I think these will be the right size for the tag, for a tag over in this side. And so I'm gonna I think I'm gonna save those for that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut a couple more this size, and then I'm gonna mat on here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and attach these 2 down, and I'll go back through later and do the other 2. You don't have to see me do all that because it's just, you know, pretty basic. Now it's on to this bit here. Yep. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attach these 2 little bits. They go, and I just did one line because, you know, it's a smaller piece. I just used my 1/8 of an inch tape on there, and I've already got that on there because my AGT is too wide for this. So if I can get it started, I'm not gonna peel it off at one time. I'm going to try to flatten this as much as I can to see what I'm doing. Now this is gonna be the same as these as far as it's gonna go the whole length. I could probably trim it off, but since I did the other ones that way, I think it would look not maybe the greatest. Actually, I guess I will go ahead and peel all that off. And I'm just gonna work it down. Measurements for this is, I don't know if I really like them like that. It kind of looks like a road. It's like a little road. Okay. Well, if you ever needed a little road for something, there you go. You did a little project. You can make your little streets. That would be cute. Oh, that would be really cute. I have some dies from Tim Holtz that's got the little trucks and cars and lights and all that little stuff, but that would be really adorable. Have you a little scene with the little traffic thing or whatever. Okay, let's see. Measurement for this one is about between, so it would be a 1/16 of something. That would be what, 1, 2, 3 16ths maybe. So what I would say is slightly over 1/8 and slightly under 1/4. So I think that's where that would fall in at. But that's roughly it, and I hope, because man, cutting these little bitty strips was a little bit hard, and I probably could have left it, but then I feel like it would have just looked unfinished. Now I'm gonna do the whole thing. Okay. And I'm just gonna put it there right in between those score lines, and it's gonna fit, should fit just right, hopefully. Yay. And two, adding them both to the sides like that is going to help with, you know, like the stability part of that, I think. Make it stand up just a little bit better. Alrighty, so then let's get into the mats for these. And I've got this. I don't remember, on these I don't remember how exactly I wanted it laid out, so I guess I have this one here, which I kind of like. And then I had this one, which I kind of like. And that one's too short. So it has to be one of these. Okay. And let's say if I do this one here and this one here. Yeah. I think that's how I had it. Yeah, okay. So this one's gonna go on the back side, and your mats for this, I know that's upside down, guys, because of how I wrote it on there. 5 1/4 by 6 1/2. Okay, and you'll need 2. 5 1/4 by 6 1/2. Alright, so then for this little flap on this side, the mat is going to be 4 3/4 by 6 1/2, I do believe. I didn't write it on this side. 4 3/4 by 6 1/2. Yeah, that's right. So we're gonna go with our pretty little cardinals on this side. Okay. Okie doke. And then for these 2 little flaps here, you are gonna need, and I may have only cut 2, so oh, you know what I think I'm gonna do? think I'm gonna actually put pattern paper on one side of that so that it's not so like, I don't really like that. So I think that's what I had decided, and then I wasn't for sure, so I just wanted to make sure. Or I might have just forgot. I really don't remember, to be quite honest. Okay, just quickly stick this on here. Oh, these are gonna measure 4 1/4 by 3. No, I'm wrong. Way wrong. 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. And no, that is wrong also. What? Can I not? I think that was supposed to be a 3, not a 2. I wrote it down wrong. So 3 1/2. Okay, so 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. Or if instead of having to go through and hear me measure, everything is pretty much a 1/4 of an inch smaller, so that you get 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And of course, oop, wrong side. You could do whatever border you want. If you wanted a 1/4 around, you could do that. Okay. So there, and then I'll go back and check that in a second. Let me see. Yeah, on the underside, because no, on this one I want it on the top side. All right, so the mats for this one, see, I wrote it correctly there for that little flap. I wrote it wrong on the other one. But for this part, because you've got this pocket here, and so this one's gonna go here on the bottom like that. And then this one's gonna go in here. And I don't know why I went all the way around. That wasn't necessary. With the gel pen. And then, I think I'm gonna go the back side there. And I think I am gonna do a pattern here. Okay, so let's go ahead and at least attach these two. Because before I attach that one, I'm gonna wait and see what kind of pattern I've got. Because depending on the pattern, depends on what I'll put there. I kind of wish I'd have alternated those as well on that, but I didn't, and that's, you know. So you guys let me know, do you like more of an in-depth how-to, or just, you know, a more simplified version on a video of a how-to? Because, I mean, you know, I get there's some out there that, you know, you probably think, well, I already know how to do all that. But there could be somebody out there that's new to it and they don't know. So you just let me know what you think, because I'm curious. Okay, so for the mats on this here, 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Let me double check it though, just to make sure. 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Yes, okay. And the top one's going to be a little different. Just a little different. Okay, yeah. The top piece is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay. So are y'all ready for fall? I'm so ready for fall. And I know of course it's September now, and I'm so excited. I'm ready for some cooler weather. I am a fall and winter person. I'm not crazy about spring and summer. Fall is probably my favorite though. Especially since I'm getting older. I hurt more in the winter time, but I still like it. I just don't like hot weather. And you know, like my family could tell you, I just don't like hot weather. I am comfortable in cool weather. Okay, so let me see here. We want a pattern here. You know, I was thinking I was gonna do these as a tag. I better see what other scraps I have before I start whacking into those. All right, so I decided which one I wanted, and I'm going with this plaid with the gold in it. And it was perfect because I had a strip, and cutting it in half, it was just, I mean, it was perfect. So I'm going to attach one here because I think that looks good against that, so I like it. I think I'm gonna do it on this side, and I think I am gonna do the black on this side because when I go to decorate, I have some things I might put on here to decorate it with, and I think that would be a cute something to have. Some of the little things that I've, you know, cut out. Like I got some little bows and I mean, you know, just some different things, just showing you. Yeah, I think so. So we'll go with that. And guys, I said something about adding magnets and then I didn't. I got too carried away with putting these mats on, I guess, and I just didn't think about it. I think it'd be okay though, because everything is pretty, we haven't added anything on the back sides of these yet, so if I had to, I can at least magnetize those together so that they're not flapping about. But I think other than that, it should be okay. Okay, so then that's it as far, well, no, it's not either. I take that back. I take it back. We've still got this one to do. Oh, wait, that ain't how it goes. So this folds in, and then this folds in, and that folds in. And yeah, it's getting chunky. See, this is the only thing, the drawback, and I've noticed it on the other one as well. This one doesn't do it. Like, it stays pretty much where it is. But this one, being a bigger thing, it's more, you know, like that. And when you stand it up, it tends to do this. And I don't like that. I don't like it at all. So I wonder if there is anything I could do to keep it from doing that. I don't know if there is or not, though, you know. And then too, the more you put on it, it's, you know, it makes it heavier, and it just does that. I mean, not that I guess it's gonna hurt anything necessarily. It just, I mean, because it's only gonna go so far, but it annoys me. Can I clip it? Oh, maybe I'll do that. Have like a little clip. Okay, maybe, okay. Got an idea. Maybe that'll work. We'll see. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do these little side pieces because I already have those cut. I did choose to do these 7/8 by 6 3/4 for this side, and then 5/8 and 6 3/4 for this side. Okay. Okay, trying to get the excess off, but yeah, there we go, like that. Like, line it up to make it match somewhat-ish. Maybe. So I found my little gold washi, which I need more of because this is almost gone. But I think I'm gonna put this here, right? And then I think I'm gonna run a piece of gold washi right up against the top of that. So I am gonna ink this edge. I changed my mind. because I want the tape, and because I don't want the tape going over it, because I don't want to cover that up. So I'm gonna just put the tape right up to the edge, like so. All right. Yeah, okay, so let me just attach this down. Okay. And I'm gonna try to line it up so that those lines at least line up together. And it is a little off, but I'm okay. I'm not bothered by that. So, alrighty, then tape on there. Let me turn it around this way. And I will just go right up to the edge. And then snip that as straight as I can, and it's not very straight, so let me, yeah, there we go. A little bit better, maybe not. I just want to make sure that it is stuck good. So yeah, there we go. I like that. I think that's cute. Done the same down here, I guess, and had another gold strip. It's not going to look the same as that up there, but nah, I'm okay with it, with just one. Okay, I'll set this to the side. We might use it again. And okay, I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've done as far as cutting things out and that type of thing, because I do have some things cut out. These are a lot of the scrap bits that are left, you know, left over, and I know I'm terrible. I just threw them over in here. But I have plenty enough right here that I could do another little small album, you know, and I might do that. I like to do that with the scraps and stuff. I don't feel as pressured when it comes down to the scrap pieces. Okay, y'all, I went crazy with this paper. I couldn't measure to save my life when I started using that paper. I was just like, no, you're wasting it. So I have a lot of little offcuts of it. But the good thing is it's printable, so if I needed more, I could just print it, you know? Let's see. Bits and pieces. More bits and pieces. I'm getting there, I promise. Okay, there we go. I just didn't want all of this to go flying everywhere. So I'm going to try to keep all of my little scrap bits together. And then I'm gonna put that in there too, because he's big. Too big for this. Okay. So what I've done, I went through on some of the papers that are in here, and I'll show you them, like this one. Okay. You know, it had all of these, which is a pretty pattern paper. But I see this as more as embellishments. But I still have a big enough piece here that I have, you know, that I could use for a pattern paper, you know, just to put down if I wanted to. So like this one here, which is pretty, you get more than one. So I went in and I cut bits and pieces out. So like the Happy Holidays, I cut that out. Some of the big floral bits, you know, and I mean, I just kind of fussy cut it. And I didn't do a whole, like, great job. But, you know, to use maybe somewhere. different ones that have little bows, and there's the little cardinal bit, you know. And not that I'm going to leave that whole. I may end up going in and trimming that down a little bit more, but I was just kind of curious. And so that's about what I did. So yeah. Okay. I didn't use any of these papers. I haven't used any of these papers for anything. I'm not crazy about those. I didn't use these either. Excuse me. I did go in and I cut this one down. I just kind of cut this to make it like a tag part. I did cut the bow out. I loved it. And then I just kind of cut out bits and pieces of the other for just whatever. And then this one, I used it. Also, I have these. But I didn't cut these out. I feel like they're... Even if I cut them down and I didn't trim them out or anything, I'm not going to cut around all them scallop circles. No, that's just, no. I did that on one, and these are smaller, so that's a no. I do love that little bow. And, you know, that there. But the little doggy, he's so cute. But I think I'm just going to leave those. I think those would make cute little tags or front covers, or, you know, like this could be the front cover of your album. But I chose not to go with those. I did cut this down. I cut these out. So like I cut the wreath and the bow out together. And then I cut just these little side swags because I thought they could go like, you know, be a little decoration. So there he is. And then for the rest of it, I trimmed down, like there's a bow. Even the little snowflake ones, some of those that I had like left over right here that I could, I punched those with my circle punch. And I didn't trim all of it. Like I could cut these down into bits, but I waited. So like there's a little pine cone. So I'm pretty much, with the exception of that circle punch and my tab punch, you know, I trim these. I even kept that. I don't, you know, there's that little bit, the corner bit. And then some of these little scrap pieces, just because they've got nice, you know, pattern coloring to them. And I don't like to throw stuff away. There. Even this bit. And I might not use it at all, but I just kept it. And then when I cut this out, I did end up cutting these out. Because I thought those would be like nice little borders or whatever, and you could use for like a little tuck spot. So I kept those. I only did one. I left the other one on. And then these bits I cut down. The other ones I cut down. And these could make cute little tags. You know, they have a cute little top. So, and be a nice little journaling area. So I just left those like they are, like that. And then these are just the little offcut bits of those. I didn't trim him out, but now I have this. And this is some little bits and pieces that I had left over from other projects and stuff. And so what I've done, nope, here it is. There was a sheet that had like borders and stuff on it. And there was some gold. See, I can use those. I kept those. I trimmed them down. I kept them. So there's one, the little bows and the things. And then here's all of the little like wood slices that I cut out. And, you know, not that we'll use all of those, but I have a variety. These, so like for my little mug, I made the little mug. I think this is what's going to go on the front, like this one. See, that would have been cute on there too. I think I'm going to have the mug on there. And it says, "'Tis the season to be jolly." I got my little black on there, so that kind of ties in. And I did use some textured paste on there. And it's, you know, I think it turned out okay. And then I'm going to actually go through and I'm going to show you how I did this, because I'm mumbling and I'm stumbling all over myself. But I love this little thing right here. It is just a wood piece from the Dollar Tree. Super cute. I like it. And then I just went through and I cut out some of these other little bits. Some of them I trimmed out, and then some of them I just left just in case I do want to. Love that little bow. It's so cute. Happy holidays. Just some different little borders. You know, some different things. Okay, so let's get into embellishing. How about that? Okay, so I got these from the Dollar Tree. I think they come 8 in a pack. Okay, and I've already got some stuff cut out, but I'm going to show you what I did. So I was making something. I think I was making a Valentine box for my son, to be honest with you. And I had the paint that I had out, I had extra laying out on my desk. So I just grabbed a piece of cardstock, this thick, heavy craft, and I just took the rest of that paint and I just painted. It was a full sheet of paper so that I didn't waste it, and I just stuck it in my stash. Actually, this is it right here. Okay, just painted it on there. I think this is Lumberjack Plaid paint, distress paint, and I love that. It's a very good Christmassy color, Christmassy red. So I used that, and this is sturdy, okay? And then I took a mug, and I laid it down on a piece of cardstock. That same cardstock that I painted, because it's thick and it's, you know. So I laid it down. And I traced it out, right? And I was trying to think if I did that part first. But anyway, so it doesn't matter really. So I traced it out, the whole thing. Okay. So that's it right there. My cutting skills are not the greatest, but that's okay. And then when I cut it out, I just took my pencil and I drew from like that little corner to this little corner. And I just, you know, drew that in. And then I kind of thought, okay, well, my whipped cream is on there. And I just kind of made a little little lines on there just to kind of show how that's going to be. Or it necessarily doesn't matter, but just in case, if you're not going to use this textured paste like I did. And mine's not, I think it looks really cute, but, you know, I'm losing my train of thought. Let's see. Okay, so then what I did is I laid it on my thing, and I thought, yeah, that's cute. But then I'm like, but then that sits on there and like that. And I kind of want it to have a little bit of a dimension to it. So I took another one, okay, and I took my little template and I placed it on top of it after I cut the little cream off, or yeah, cream, whatever you want to call it. And then I took my pencil and I just traced on it where that was at. And did I use my scissors? I don't think I used my scissors. I think what I ended up doing, I think I tried my scissors. I might have. Let me try it again. I want to see. And, I mean, I've got plenty of these, and I really wasn't using them for anything else, so. But I didn't want to ruin this top part either. So I think actually what I ended up doing, because I tried that, and when you go to cut, it's going to make it peel almost, if that makes sense. So what I ended up doing, let's see. Let me get my mat. Took my mat out. And I'm going to use this side because, alrighty, okay. And I just took my blade and I just cut along my pencil mark, okay. And it's not going to be perfect, And I just cut along my pencil mark. And once you get down in there, after you make that first little cut, your blade is gonna continue to go in that direction, or it should. Okay, and I'm just cutting and pulling. Oop, and see, I got off a little bit there, so I have to be careful, because I think because I already cut it with my scissors there. Okay, or if you want to, flip it and turn it the other way so that, you know, you're going the other direction then. Okay, and then I can see where it is from the back side, so and I mean, if you're not going to use the little wooden part again, like the top part, you could definitely just cut it, and it's not really going to matter. You can see how it kind of leaves it like rough looking, rough feeling. And I didn't like that, so I just took some sandpaper. I just got this from Dollar General. I've had it for forever. So, and I'm going to actually tear mine in half because I don't need that big of a sheet. And then I just took my sandpaper and, you know, kind of made the edges a little bit softer. And like that little bit that's right there, I just kind of sanded off. Hang on. Kind of went over my trash can because that's pretty messy. Okay, and then just trim, you know, file that down as much as I wanted it. And then I took it and I glued it on top of the other one that still has the, you know, the solid one. Let me do that one just a little bit more. I don't really like that edge. So then I glued these two together. Like so. And then I glued my top little one that I trimmed out there. I actually did go through and I inked the edges of these just in case my trimming on this wasn't the greatest. So I just kind of, and two, it'll match because the edges are already kind of, you know. I am not going to do the top side. I did on the other, and you can see where, you can kind of see where my ink bled into that. And it's okay, though. I mean, it kind of just looks like, I guess, a hot chocolate on there. It'll be all right. Or your ground espresso, because that's the color I'm using. I almost did it again. You see that? And then, too, also, you know, you could reverse your mug, so it doesn't have to be one direction. So, you know, wherever you want your handle side to be on, you could still do it the opposite direction as well. You just have to trace your thing out on the different side if you've already got it painted, or, you know, or your pattern. If you're using cardstock, it wouldn't matter, I guess. All right, so then that and this go together. Could go ahead and put your fluffy stuff here, your texture paste. You could go ahead and put that on there first, like glue these two together, then put that on there so you know like where to go to, or either, you know, trace it out like that. You know, put your paste on there, and then you could then attach this. You just have to be careful because if you did and it was like you had it thick, it would kind of wonk it out some like that probably. But then again, it might not. It just depends. Alrighty. And then let's see. I'm not going to... Am I going to do it on this one? You know what? I might as well. I might as well just go ahead and show you just the whole thing. I wasn't going to, but I can always use it for something else. So let me get some glue on here, because I think... Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use the texture paste matte, And mine, I need to use it actually because it's pretty dry. Okay, and I'm just gonna take my thing here, and it's okay. So I'm just gonna take some, and two, when you put the texture paste on there, it'll cover your hole up, so you can like squish it down in there, you know, like that. See how dried mine's feeling here. So depending on how much you want on it, get it working. Because it's already got the lines in the corner, so I just kind of took my thing here and I just kind of marked in, marked in a little bit of a, you know, to make it look like the swirl. And it might not even look like that at all, guys. You'll have to let me know what you think. But, you know, I don't claim to be an expert. I'm just having fun with it. And I think it turned out cute. So, and I guess that's really what matters, you know. As long as you like what you're creating. Because for me, a lot of times it is that therapeutic, you know, just the doing part. Okay, so I'm gonna... I guess I could be getting in the thing here. So you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and I'm not really worried if the glue seeps out of this because we can wipe that off and it'll be fine. Because I want to make sure that it is stuck good. Now I will get out my clips again. And I was debating on whether or not I wanted to go ahead and attach this down and then attach that down. I think I just might do that. So let's just go that way. Well, that is like that, and it's not sticking down. That's why I got the clips. Try not to touch my stuff. You could wait till that dried before you do this, but since I'm doing this for you guys, I'm gonna just go ahead and attempt it. And I think too, by maybe letting that glue set and get a little on the drier side, it might have helped this, because that other one I had when I glued it together, but I'm telling you, it was wanting to like not stay, so I had to clip it, which I'm gonna go ahead and do with this one as well because I do want it to stay. I'll leave it because if I keep playing with it, I'm probably just gonna mess it up. Okay, so I got that trimmed out and I inked the edges just so that it doesn't have a white edge. And then I'm gonna glue it down here and then trim that out again, leaving that little bit of a border. I think what I'm gonna do first before I trim it out, or do I? I think on the other one, I did it the opposite. I think I trimmed it and then I did the little marks, but it was tiny. So I think I'm gonna go through and do the little marks first. And I'm only doing it this way just because this kind of, I feel like, ties it into the rest of the album. Dry. Let's see how this is doing. I may have to make another little album just to have just to use this one on, because it's just that cute. Okay. So there's our little piece all cut out, and I hope it fits on there, guys. I didn't test it first, so okay. I'll take those off. They do leave marks. The only thing I don't like about those, but I think that's good. I think that's gonna be cute, right? Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and glue this one down. And then to kind of finish it off, on this one, I took my pencil, and you might can tell. I feel like from afar off, it's not as noticeable, I guess. And you could use, I guess, whatever, but I just kind of ran my pencil along this line a little bit. Right there, to kind of make it look like that handle is, you know, and then I just took my eraser and I kind of, it don't really erase, it kind of smudges it out. And yeah, you know, so, and then just kind of ran it along the edges there to kind of give it more of a, I guess, a shading. Okay, like that. It doesn't have to be anything major. I went a little overboard on that one, I think, but that looks pretty good to me. It kind of gives it just a little bit of shading there. And then I did do some little stitching on the mug, just because I felt like it needed a little something else. And I just went along the top. And then around the little handle part of the mug. You could, I guess, go at the bottom. I'm gonna do it on this one. And we'll see how I like it. You'll have to let me know which one you like the best. I kind of like it both ways. I think I'm gonna leave that one just like that, because I think I like it both ways. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this one aside because that's still just a little bit tacky. And show like some of the embellishing that we're gonna do. And I have already done a few things because I was sitting here kind of prepping some stuff, and I got carried away. So not too much though, not too much. I did add this pit here. I don't know if you can remember, or if you look back, I did have cut this paper too short. So I decided I just took a scrap piece that I had and cut it down to size, and then just put some of that gold foiling. So we have gold foil here, and then of course some of the paper has the foiling in it as well. Okay, and then I did go through also, and this was from a piece of the paper that was left over, well, from this bit, and I just folded it in half and made a tag out of it. Okay, and I did go through and I made I did cut some tags, or some, you know, photo mats to go in here. And so all I have to do basically is put these together, but I'll show you the sizes that I cut. So for this, we're gonna say the center flap one here, because it's the first one I flipped to. It's a 4 1/4 by 6. And then I just cut down a piece of the scrap paper, some of the black, and did the gel pen around it, and I will just attach those there. I'll go ahead and get that done so that I don't forget. Oh, I told you the mat size, or the tag size. 4 1/4 by 6, and the mat would be 4 by 5 3/4. So 2 of those just to mat it. Make sure I'm in frame. Let's see, about there. Looks good. Okay. And you can, I mean, you could make your mats any size that would, as long as it fits into that pocket. I chose this size because I kind of want, when you put it in, to be able to still see the pin mark around, if that makes any sense. So, okay, let me just, and you could still put a 4 by 6 photo on here. You'd have to crop it down, you know, and that's okay. I mean, we can crop photos, but right? Oops. Okay, and then, so it sets in there, and you can still see that around. So I liked that, okay? And then going in this little flip part here. So now this is what I have done. I was sitting here and I was playing with, I had went in and cut a lot of things down. Let me see. This is what I have left over from that one. I thought I had more than that, but apparently this is all I got left over from that. So I took this sheet. Well, you know, you have more than one, so I took one of them, and I cut it out. So I have this bow, I cut it separate, that I cut separate. I was just gonna try to use this whole piece together, and it just didn't look right. So what I did is I just went in and I individually cut out some of the holly leaves and the berries and a little pine cone and the bird, and I just stuck it on a piece of craft card, just a scrap piece that I had left over, and cut it down to size. Now, it is, what did I do with that tag? Yeah. It is a little tuck area, so I might not should have stuck that one, but I didn't want things kind of like falling out if you had a smaller tag, you know? So, yeah, so you can tuck something there. So I did do that. Let me put this back. And this one, all I did was I inked it, of course, and then put some seam binding and some, you know, my little stuff on there because it's just cute. Because I like that look. Okay. Oops, too far. All right, for this one, now I didn't trim it. It's very, very close, but this one is 4 1/2 by 6 1/4. So your mats to make this one would be 4 1/4 by 6. And I just did the same here. I have a pattern and then a black. Like that. And then of course you could do it to either side, but I'm gonna do it to the red side there. Okay, like that. And then this part I did too. I just took, I had a little piece of black left over, and I took the one of the things and I just placed it on black, did around it, and then, well, let me see, where'd that tag go again? To keep using this tag. And it does, now I did glue the black down. I think it's all the way down, but it would fit up right to, you know, you could be able to tuck whatever underneath that. And it is okay. There we go. And I think that might be the only things that I've added. Yeah, I think those are the only two things that I really glued down. Okay, and then so for the tag that goes here in this little pocket, come on. I'm not going to use the black again because I got so much black there. So I'm going to use 2 of the pattern, and I'm going to use, I had a scrap just the right size. So I'm going to use this one and then a little, like little journaling spot, okay? And oh, this one is a 4 by 4 3/4, and then your mats to cut down will be 3 3/4 by 4 1/2. So just so that you'll have an 1/8 of an inch around. Alrighty, so like that. And then that one just sits in there, and it does the same thing. It gives, well, what's the hold up? There we go. It gives the same, you know, you can still see that around. Okay. So, I do have some things already kind of planned out. I think. If I can find where they are. Okay. So, and I don't want to get too crazy in here because it is already getting, you know, when you close it, it's getting pretty thick. So you still want to add pictures and stuff. So I'm only going to do a couple of more things. I'm not going to embellish absolutely everything because it's just too much that way. I am going to take these little bits that I cut apart from the paper. Okay. So I want this to go kind of like this. And then I have this little piece of that I cut, and it's kind of twisted. This came from the paper. It's not the tape. The other ones I actually used tape, like washi tape. And so this one's kind of twisted. But it's going to go like that, and then I think I'm going to place the bow like that. But I kind of think I want to make that a little bit of a tuck spot. So before we stick anything down to here, I think first I'm going to stick it, well, here, actually, first, I'm going to make sure that I know exactly where this needs to go. So I'm going to place this where I know I want it because it's going to fit right inside those lines, and this is going to go right on the top, like so. And this one will go from edge to edge. I'm going to let it hang off. I think that looks good like that, but I'm actually going to flip it around this way. Okay, and I'm going to mark it. You know, roughly mark it anyways. Okay. All right, so here's what we want. Do I want to put it directly on, or do I want it to sit kind of above? Do you know what I mean? And then have this run right along that edge, because I kind of want my bow to be able to set a little bit higher so you can still kind of see those snowflakes underneath, because I feel like if it cuts them off, it just looks a little weird. But so to do that, we could run paper, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get some tape. Some tape. And I'm just gonna stick it on there like that, because I don't really want to add any more thickness to that if I can help it. Okay, and then I'm actually going to turn this upside down so that I can see right where that line is, and I'm going to line that there, and I'm going to hold it and try to lay this down so that it is as much to that edge. And before I really press, I'm gonna flip it back over and check, and I like that. So then I'm gonna really give it its, yeah, and that's gonna hold that together because we're only gonna glue the edges anyways, so that's not even gonna really matter once we get all of this stuck on here, okay? And then for this, so I think what I will do is I'm just gonna get my glue out. I'm just gonna run a very small, and I mean very small if I can get it that small, bit of glue. This is where I need one of those little precision thingies. I have one actually, but it's tiny and it gets stuck more than anything where it don't want to come out, and it's frustrating. Kind of like this one is, I guess. Okay, here we go. Maybe I got some down to the bottom now. There, like that. Man, it's too bad I didn't have a pen that can do that with that spacing. That's actually pretty good. Oh, me, with the white spacing. Okay. And then we're just going to take this, and I'm just going to lay it down on there as best I can get it. Without it going up over that. Just button it up to that like that. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it off the same as the black, okay? And then just ink that little corner. Okay. Yeah, like that. And then our little bow, which I did go around and kind of ink the edges of it just to give it a little, I guess, grunginess. Let's see, vintagey looking. I want it kind of up here. Maybe like that. So I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna trace, because I know I don't want my glue going past that part, okay? So if you have paper like this, just look through your elements and see what you've got, and you know, that can see what you can use from your paper. So in this one, other than the little coffee mug thing that I'm gonna use, well, I don't know if I'm gonna use that one. I made two. I actually think I like the other one. So this says Merry Christmas. Yeah, like that. Or does that look weird? Maybe it should have came down further. I don't know. Okay. But look at your elements and things that you've got that you possibly could cut out from your paper and use those, because I've tried to use just the things that are in this paper pack, and you know, the only punch would be this tab punch and then the little cup thing, and I think everything else is, and besides this paper here, is from that kit. So this is gonna go here like that. I like it. I think it's cute. You'll have to tell me what you think, if you like it or not. Was you saying, no, don't do it? Okay. I think that's good. And then for this one, I want to put it on, let me fold this in. I'm gonna put it on this side right here. And I have already stuck it together. So that's one of those things I started to get carried away and I was like, no, I gotta wait. So I'm gonna have it go here. I'm actually gonna run it to the edge as well. Okay, like that. And then you'll be able to stick whatever up underneath it. And you might can see a little bit of my, there you go, that's better. That's cute, I like it. It kind of looks like a little present there. And yeah, so then you can tuck picture under there, okay? Alrighty, now I do have lots of other things that I cut out, which I do have a lot of scrap papers left over that I can make a different little project with, and I might do that using up the rest of my scraps. Could have made it a little bit longer. Okay, see, I still got that. Do we want to do something here then, maybe? Like, I don't know, let's see what I've got. See any claws? I like the poinsettia, although I've already used it. Ooh, the cardinal. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna do it like I did that one though. Okay, so let me go through and ink up these edges. Okay, and then I'm just gonna glue it on here. So now my question is, do I want to do the marks around it first or cut around it first? I think I'm gonna cut it first. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave, you know, a bit of a border. Yeah, okay. Because I do want it to match, you know, to look cohesive and to match and that type of thing. So, like that there. So I know probably right in about there, I don't want any kind of glue. And I didn't even think if that's out. Okay. So if I go here, I should be good. If I had enough of these little bows, which I might have, I could do a little bow thing up through there, but that's okay. We'll just do that. Press it with my, and I think that should be good. We shouldn't have any glue seeping out. Okay, I like that. We're gonna leave that like so. Then I thought about putting a little bow there. That's cute. But then when I fold, let's see, you have to think too when you fold what's gonna get caught on what. And that would be laying on top of this, so probably not. Okay, gonna leave that like that. All right, so to do our little band, to add our little closure to our book, we're gonna do that. Let's see. Let me get, all right, so what I've done is I've cut down the layered mats to go on the front here. And I used this corrugated card for one. Let's see. So like this is what I did. You know, I layered it up that many times. 4 times to be exact. So you got 4 different mats. So here's what you'll need if you're going to do yours like this. The first mat, I used black and it is 4.5 by 5.5. I wrote them down, but sometimes I do it wrong, so let me make sure. 4.5 by 5.5. So that's going to be the first mat. Okay, and then the second one is going to be your secondary color, craft color, whatever color you're using. I'm going to use this one. This is 4 1/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, and it is going to fit just right inside those lines. And then the next one, I went back with black so that I could do my little ink pen around it. And this one is going to be 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. And it is going to fit just right inside that one. And then your last mat, I used a pattern. This is the one I chose. Is 3.5 by 4.5. Okay. And then it should fit just right inside those marks as well. And then I actually think I'm going to use this one. And it is going to go on here like this, except it's going to be on the band that slides on and off. Yeah. So we're going to see how that's going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach all of these down. So we got our mats on there. And now we will go through and get our band. Let's see. Let me pick this back up and open it up so I could have a little more, you know, flat surface to press down on. So that's cute. I like it. Let's see, on this one, I had whatever, there we go, it came off my ruler. This one is 1 1/4 inches, so, I think I like that size, so we made it with that. So let me just put this in here. I can see my cats have been on it again. So we're gonna go 1 1/4. And I'm gonna cut a strip, and then 1 1/4 again, we'll cut 2. Okay, 1 1/4. Okay, make sure they're pretty much the same. Yeah, okay, so cut 2 of those. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach them together. Just gonna use this 3/4 inch tape right here. Hang on, it's not straight on the end and I want it pretty straight. Pretty straight. So I can get right up to that edge. And then I'm just gonna look it over and cut it straight to that edge, okay? And then, I don't know if you can see, but I'm gonna stick it to the edge, right up to the edge where that tape meets there, and then just stick it down like that, okay? Cool. And then just really, you know, burnish it down really good. Okay. So on the other one, what I did is I laid it down on my my book, or I laid my book down on top of that, and I tried to kind of, I guess, center it as best I can. Okay. Okay, and that's saying something. All right, let's see. I'm gonna take my pencil, try not to move it, and I'm just gonna take my pencil and I'm gonna make a mark right there. And then I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Okay, and while I got those marked there, I'm gonna take the scoreboard and stylus. Excuse me. Now, I know this is not going to the edge because it's too big, but I'm going to use this small one. So I'm just going to line it up right here in this, pushing it all the way to the top. So making sure that that's lined up really good. And then I'm just going to take my stylus. And I'm going to come a little out from where that score line is because I want it to have enough room to, you know, slide, okay? So it's not going to be snug. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one here. So I'm going to go this way with it, and I'm just going to score, okay, like that. And set that to the side for just a second. And I will end up having to trim these down because they are too long, but for now, just to see kind of where we want it. So I'll put this back, and I'll pull these up, and it is scored, I think, pretty decent. Pretty decent, okay? And then I'm gonna, while I'm pulling that, to, you know, I mean, not super tight, but as much as I can, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna flip it up on its side like this, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna draw a line. Okay, and then while I'm holding this one, I'm gonna do the same thing to this other side, which is gonna be a little bit more tricky because you know what, let me flip it this other way around because I'm right-handed and I can't write left-handed. You can't do it. And this wants to fall in because it's, you know, so let's go about there. And I mean lightly, and I'm not trying to go in, I'm trying to go right up too. All right, and you can see how those are not straight at all where I marked, but that's okay because when we put this in here straight, it's not. I'm just gonna line it up somewhat into that. I'm going on one side of that pencil mark to the other side of that pencil mark. You can see that. Same thing with this one. Okay, so as long as I got it somewhere in that vicinity and I'm keeping it straight, I know my score lines are straight, I think I'm gonna be okay. That's how I did the last one. Okay, and I'm just gonna fold those in. And even now they're still too long, so I know I'm gonna have to trim it down. Okay, so we're gonna lay this back in here. All right. Let me just go ahead and I'm gonna snip that one off because it's annoying. Okay, so like this. Because you want it to, you know, be able to, you don't want it to be so tight that it's not gonna allow for, you know, room. And you possibly could have one side that's going to be a little bit thicker than the other because of how this, you know, even though I tried to make an allowance for making that smaller, but still, it is still possible. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do, like this. And that's going to be adorable. Yeah. I'm just going to kind of mark here and mark here, and that's about how much I'll have it overlap. So I'm going to trim those down where I put those little pencil marks so that I got straight lines. Okay. Like that. Okay, so I want it to lap this way. So I'm gonna take my pencil and I overlapping that, making sure that they're lined up. I am going to draw a right up against the edge of that there. Making a video. Hey, turn your thing down. All right, so I put my pencil mark there so I know exactly where to put my tape to, right? And I'm just gonna use this 3/4. And I'm just gonna line it up straight up against that line. Well, you know, not right on it, but just as close to it as I can get. Let's snip that off. And then do I have enough room? Maybe. I'm gonna have to trim it and that'll be okay. Oh, I cut that really wonky, didn't I? Wow. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I guess I could get over here where you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go through where my tape went over and I'm just going to snip it off. Okay. Like that. Okay. And I'm not even going to worry about that little bit right there. It'd be fine. Just peel those. And then I'm going to put it back on here and do it because I feel like that just gives me a little bit of something to kind of press it down on. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm just going to pull them, line that right up to that pencil mark, making sure that my sides are even. And, oh yeah. See, that's good, okay? Like so, and then I'm just going to give that bit a really good press, okay? Now, all we need is some mats to mat this, okay? And I'm going to go with the black all the way around because I think that'll add a little something to it, okay? Let me get some scraps. So what we'll need for these, okay, is you're going to need 1-inch pieces, so 2 at 1 by 6. And then this one is a little bit more, so I'm going to go 6 1/8 because the back side, like I said, one is going to be a little bit longer than the other the way the book is, the way we folded it. So each side is not the same. So I said 2, but you might want to do 1. Let's see. Or however your size is. I'm going to do 6 by 1. And then 6 and actually about 6 1/4 really by 1. And then the little sides should be 1 by 1. Maybe. 1. Yeah, by 1. All right. Okay, so I've marked where I want this to go on here, or where it's gonna sit at. And the back side of this is still plain, and if it was being glued down, that probably wouldn't bother me, but when you pull this off, you're gonna see that, and I don't like it. So I'm trying to think of what I can do to help keep this from, well, to keep that from showing, but also to maybe help this to look more cohesive on there, I guess. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay this on here on just a scrap piece of craft. And I'm going to trace around it. And then I'm gonna cut this part out so that I can attach it to the back side. But I'm not just gonna attach it to the back side, I'm actually gonna attach it to the back side after I put this on here. Like this, and then this will go on the back side, so it will look like it was made together. Okay, so we got our little mug cut out. Okay, and the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna, let's see, I'm going to ink around. I could just paint it, I guess that would be easy too, but I'm gonna ink around the edges just in case when I put my card on there that it's not gonna, if it's, you know, I didn't cut it correctly, then it's not gonna show this lighter color. I did get some of it all over my table, but let me get it off. All right, so there we go. There it is. And it should be pretty well stuck, not going anywhere. You know, if you just want to, and I actually think I'm going to, it does look a little better to kind of have them edges a little bit darker like the rest of it. So just for that part, and then I'm okay. Alrighty. And then pick this up, and it should fit on just like that. Okay, so there's our little album completed, and I'm gonna call it finished. I think it turned out really cute. I love that. But that's it. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, click that notification bell. You'll be notified when I do upload a video, and hit that like button. You know, let me know if you do or not like this video. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.